Hi there, and welcome to Ian's Engage channel. I'm Ian. In previous videos, I've explained that the Wi-Fi connection to my Digikeijs DR5000 control station has stopped working, and that I'd purchased a replacement Wi-Fi module manufactured by YaMoRC. I had no idea whether replacing the Wi-Fi module would fix the issue, but I thought it was worth a try, as the DR5000 combined with the Z21 WLANmaus wireless throttle was far superior to the NCE PowerCAB that I was currently using. So in this video I'm going to show how I upgraded the DR5000 using the YaMoRC YD9401 Wi-Fi module and reveal whether or not the upgrade worked. Before attempting to install the new Wi-Fi module, I wanted to test if the USB interface still worked. It had been so long since I'd used the DR5000 that the Shelfington laptop hadn't been switched on in months. So before I could test the interface, I had to wait for about an hour while Windows 11 updated itself. Eventually it completed and I loaded up the DR5000 configuration software. Thankfully, even though the last time the software had been updated was in March 2022, it still seemed to work. But would it communicate with the hardware and operate a loco? I opened up a throttle window, typed in an address, and increased the speed. Thankfully, the selected loco began to move. This meant that the DR5000 hardware was still serviceable, and that there was a good chance that it was only the Wi-Fi module that had malfunctioned. Of course, this was an assumption on my part, but at least I knew that the DR5000 was partially working. The YaMoRC YD9401 Wi-Fi module had arrived with me back in April, and you may remember me saying that it had arrived without any instructions. The model railway community on YouTube came to my aid though, with several people suggesting videos to watch and leaving links to the appropriate PDF file full of instructions. So a big thank you for all who made suggestions. It turned out that the instructions were quite comprehensive and rather lengthy. However, they were also easy to follow. So after studying them for a while, I was happy to proceed with the upgrade. I detached the DR5000 from the power, the USB port and the DCC bus, then unscrewed it from the baseboard framing and took it to the workbench. The first step in replacing the Wi-Fi module was to remove the sticker from the top of the unit. After an initial struggle to lift a corner and get hold of it properly, the sticker peeled away relatively easily with a firm tug. Once the sticker had been removed, a sticky residue was left behind, which I thought would be better if removed. I used some acetone to vanquish the stickiness, applying it with some blue roll. If using acetone, I definitely recommend doing so in a well-ventilated space. With the sticker gone, 2 screws are revealed, and these need to be removed in order to lift off the top of the case. A Phillips screwdriver is required to remove these. Once the top has been removed, we can see that the Wi-Fi module is located at the bottom left-hand side of the circuit board. This is gently rocked and lifted and eventually comes out of its socket. The new Wi-Fi module is then removed from its bag, separated from its block of foam and inserted into the socket. care must be taken to ensure that all of the pins are located into their own holes, and all of the holes of the socket are filled. The top can then be replaced, making sure that the holes line up with each other. And then the screws can be refitted. The next step was to adhere the new sticker to the top of the command station. Once applied, the Digikeijs DR5000 was no more. The command station was now officially called a YaMoRC YD7001. Before the new command station could be used, new configuration software needed to be installed onto the Shelfington laptop. This was obtained from YaMoRC's website, from a link given in the PDF file. Once the setup file had been downloaded, the configuration software could be installed by running the executable file. The installation process installs drivers for the new hardware, as well as the configuration software, so must be completed before the command station is connected to the computer via the USB cable. During installation, there are various user prompts asking whether or not to install these drivers, all of which I responded to positively. Once installation is complete, a new YD7001 configuration icon should appear on the desktop. Opening the newly installed software should open up a new style-looking interface that resembles the new sticker. While this did happen in my case initially, the old DR5000 image kept returning, which at the time was a little disconcerting. Before the new Wi-Fi module could be used, the command station and software needed activating. This can be done by clicking on the Activate link, which will take you to YaMoRC's website where you can apply for an activation code. I won't go through the whole form filling process, but after applying, I received my activation code via email after about an hour's wait. The activation code can then be entered into the configuration software, which should make it fully functional. At this point, the instructions recommended upgrading the system firmware. However, the activation email I'd received from YaMoRC indicated that my system was already running on the latest version of the system firmware, so I could skip this step. When looking at the firmware versions though, this didn't seem to be the case. So I went through the process anyway. Firstly, I upgraded firmware in the USB properties page. I selected YD7001 from the drop-down list and then let the upgrade take place. Closing the page and opening it again, you can see that the version numbers have now updated. Secondly, I upgraded firmware in the Expert tab of the Wi-Fi properties page. However, I don't think that the firmware version changed in this page, so this may have been the bit that I could have skipped according to the email I received. So let's talk a little bit about configuration. My aim was to control locos over Wi-Fi using the Z21 WLANmaus, which, as the name suggests, uses the Z21 protocol. Now, the DR5000 and subsequently the YD7001 are incredibly flexible devices, supporting multiple protocols. I won't go into details of how I have my system configured, otherwise this video will never end, but after a bit of tinkering, I set up the system in the way that you can see on screen now. The final step was to test the new hardware. I'd already performed a quick test to make sure I could still control a loco through the USB interface, which I could, but didn't record the event. It did, however, confirm that I hadn't broken anything. Would I be able to control a loco via the Wi-Fi throttle though? Well, yes. Yes, I could. And this made me very happy. I have to say that the YaMoRC YD9401 Wi-Fi module is an excellent upgrade for the Digikeijs DR5000. Obviously, it's fixed the problem I was having with Wi-Fi connectivity, but it has done so much more than that. It has modernised the Wi-Fi connectivity options available. It now works as a standalone Wi-Fi access point. It also has a built-in web server, meaning that the hardware can be configured without the need for specialised software running on a PC, a tablet or a phone. It also now supports multiple protocols simultaneously, meaning that you can have multiple control mechanisms active at the same time, such as a Z21 throttle, YaMoRC or a Wii throttle, etc. Okay, so that's about it for this update. Is anyone else using the DR5000 as their command station? If so, have you needed to upgrade your Wi-Fi module because of a similar problem that I've faced? Or have you encountered any other problems with the command station? Or maybe the command station has run flawlessly for you since the day you purchased it. Let me know. Alternatively, if you've got any hints, tips, useful tools or techniques to pass on to a beginner in Engage modelling, or if you simply want to say hello, then please do so in the comments section. Anything and everything you've got to say will be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully I'll have another update soon. Bye.